now there's one more trend I need to discuss, which unfortunately I do not have the slides for, but I can talk about it. And it has to do with electronegativity, right? Now, electronegativity is basically the ability of an atom to attract electrons, shared electrons to itself, all right? And I think we talked about it in an earlier chapter. And there's a scale which is seen here on the screen, a 4-point scale that was developed by a chemist by the name of Linus Pauling. And basically this gives you a measure of the relative electronegativity of the different elements in the periodic table. And if you look at this table closely, you'll see that there are certain trends we can observe going down any group and going across any period. So the first trend I'm going to talk about is that as you go from left to right of any period, then the electronegativity will increase. So as you can see, for example, in the case of the second period, starting with lithium, it increases from 1.0 and it steadily increases until you get to fluorine, which is 4.0. And by the way, fluorine is the most electronegative element in the periodic table, right? So that will be the trend that you'll observe pretty much for all the periods going from left to right, all right? You're going to see an increase in electronegativity going from left to right of any period. Then going from top to bottom of any group, what you'll find is that the electronegativity will decrease, all right? So if you take group 1A, for example, starting with hydrogen, then you'll notice that the electronegativity decreases as you go down, all right? One thing you'll not see in this version of the periodic table with the electronegativity values are the group 8 elements. They would normally be here, group 8A, but because they are noble elements, in other words, they're inert, they do not react with anything, really. So in effect, their electronegativity value would be 0, right? They have very little tendency to share electrons one way or the other, all right? So basically, for all intents and purposes, the electronegativity of the group 8A elements, the noble gas elements, the inert elements, will be 0, all right? Okay, and the only other thing I want to say here is that the electronegativity basically parallels the non-metallic character, right? So as a non-metallic character increases, the electronegativity increases, all right? Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that particular trend, all right? So I'll see you on the next video.